Chairwoman, thank you. General, thank you for your presence today. Just a couple more questions, perhaps a follow-up to a couple of my colleagues' questions. But first of all, I'd like to start with Title 42 and your conversation with Senator Braun. I think your answer to him was more prospectively what might transpire and the need for additional resources in the future. I would like to highlight or focus on this year, your budget request that's in front of us now. I know there's some uncertainty with federal judge in New Orleans and a decision, but it seems to me that, my view, this is a pretty reckless decision, but because the estimates are about 14,000 migrants could begin crossing the border per day after Title 42 ends on May the 23rd. That has to have enormous resource consequences for the federal government. I think Homeland Security is already talking about additional, running out of money and needing additional dollars. ICE and Border Patrol, it's estimated, could be out of funds by July of this year. What about the impact on DOJ components, marshals, immigration courts, U.S. attorneys' offices? Have you prepared any estimates? Has the department prepared estimates as to what the increasing expenditures may be this year, unaccounted for in your budget request?
I don't know that we have, I don't think we have those numbers now, but we can, I think our staff can work with yours. There's no question that there will be an increase in U.S. attorney resources needed along the southern border. We've hired, with respect to the IJs, as I was telling Senator Braun, we've hired all the way up under the current appropriation. So without more, we won't be able to increase the numbers. We are doing everything we can to streamline the system and to move people, the IJs, to the borders to assist there. But look, we're always happy for more money, and I'll be happy to have our staff speak with the subcommittee staff about that.
Well, General, I mean, the crux of my conversations with you earlier in today's hearing generally revolved around violent crime. And my view is that the consequence of what the administration is determined to do with Section 42 can't be compensated for by removing resources going to fight violent crime. The border and violent crime are clearly related, significantly related, but I remember visiting the border, and what stood out to me is that when we were housing the juveniles on the border, 40% of the Border Patrol agents were then in the housing business, not in the Border Patrol business. And I think there's an analogy there of something the Department of Justice must avoid, which is to take resources away from something that is a crisis already to address the crisis that is going to occur with the removal of 42. That makes sense?
Yes, and I assure you we don't want to remove the money that we need to fight violent crime to put it anywhere else.
Has the department either volunteered or been tasked with providing DOJ personnel to support DHS during this crisis?
I don't know what the
U.S. Marshals.
Yeah, well, yes. But to be clear, we don't do border patrolling. None of our law enforcement is trained for that or anything else. The Bureau of Prisons is going to make buses available and for the transfers that the Border Patrol needs assistance for, and the Marshal Service is going to be providing additional deputy U.S. Marshals to assist CBP at the border. But I don't want to overstate how much that is, because our ability to make those contributions is not large.
Thank you. Senator